Hey, it's what you got for me.
Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a Tottenham transfer news show. You guys know what time it is by now. Everything Tottenham, everything transfers, we cover here on Durag Diaries. And I know the consistency has not been there the last couple of weeks, but we've been, new year, getting back into it. And yeah, look, people. Looking forward to the potential transfers that's going to be ahead. I've done a video a few weeks ago just, going over the rumors, what's been going on. And a lot of it was just, paper talk. But now we've actually got into the transfer window where it's starting, players are moving, bids are being made. Deals they're happening. Just not happening at our club, bruv. Yeah? We're 6 days into it. I know I said yesterday, I said 7 in my short, but look, it is what it is, yeah. 6 days into the window, no signings. No official bids have been made. No player looks like he's going to be on his way to Spurs right now. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. But big up to everyone inside. We're going to go around the rumors, go around, see what has been happening in the world of Tottenham. And yeah, look, let's go into that. But first of all, come to the chat. Do late diaries. I actually wasn't late today. Black Daniel Levy's crazy, but I actually wasn't late today, June. So that one's on you. That one's on you. Joke's on you, man. Morning, Jords. Good morning to my guy Mustafa every single time. Amarim gone. Ineos are slow at making decisions. And that's why I was frustrated. That's why I am frustrated. I'm even more frustrated with my club right now. Because you have to sit back, reflect, look at the Premier League table. You can see that Spurs are currently in 13th. Seeing all these stats come out that, since Amarim's been sacked, there's only 2 teams that have had less points than him that are still in the Premier League. And that's Wolves and that's Tottenham. In 2025, there's only 2 teams that sit at the bottom of the Premier League table. That's Wolves, that's Tottenham. There's not a lot of good stats when you look at this Spurs side over the last year, let alone 6 months to 18 months. It's just not good. And the most worrying thing is there has been no action. No action. Chelsea are sat 5th in the table. They sacked Enzo. Because, yes, they had some disagreements with him, but more importantly, the results weren't there. 1 win in 7. Pretty sure Spurs were on a similar run in form not too long ago. We didn't even bat an eyelid. we didn't even question it. We didn't even once say or once think, didn't see a report come out as Spurs are monitoring the situation of other managers because Thomas Frank is under the cosh. Didn't hear none of that. And then we wait. Another week passes. Manchester United sack Ruben Amorim. The man that pulled the biggest scam in 2025. Might be the biggest scam of the century, to be honest, because man pulled up in the Monclizzi, a man calling him Moncler Mourinho, all to find out that Moncler man he banged F for that. Man's a fraudster. You saw them man about in London that are wearing the big boy jackets and that. Most of them are fraudsters. Amorim's the same. Amorim is just one of those kind. Man pulling up in all the designer. Man United fans didn't know. He was banging jobs for that. CCs. Yeah. It might come out of one of your accounts. Who knows? But if you see minus £300 randomly one day, it might be Amorim and his boys. Debt collecting time. But he was laughing. Then man then got sacked and started laughing. He's going, yeah, look, man dapped up the press guy waiting outside his yard. I've never seen someone who he went to the press guy and was like, yo, yeah, my guy, good to see you. Say no more. Like, man just got fired. Smile on his face. He's like, yo, 28 million down and 28 million pound up. Of course I'm happy. Who would it be? But besides all of that, with Amorim himself and, you know, the fact that he deserved to get sacked, my point here is that Manchester United acted. Whether it was too late, whether it's 14 months down the line, it don't matter. They acted. They've acted before we have with our manager. Thomas Frank has been here for 6 months now. In that 6 months, I have not seen an improvement in any individual player. I have not seen an improvement in the system that we so highly criticized last season. The attacking play. Because we've signed better attackers. Yes, he's not had to have full use of his attack. So I'll give him some, you know, leeway with that. He hasn't had all of his attackers. So maybe not going to see the best attack in football. But it's not improved. The patterns of play look awful. Defensively, we are slightly better than last year. But you would be better when you're playing with a low block and you're, you know, got 2 defensive midfielders starting in front of you. You're going to naturally be better. You're not going to be like Ange when you've got a back 4 and no midfielder in front of you. So yes, we look slightly better in defense. But does that alleviate the difference between that and the attack? No. Are we any better than we are last year? No. We're awful. You guys haven't seen me doing reaction to games, not because I've been avoiding. I've been watching the games here and there. Can't lie, I have missed some of the games because, you know, it's that time of year. You go out and do things with family, and usually I'm like, yo, I plan my schedule around the games. Usually I'm like, no, yeah, can't do this. Tottenham's playing, yeah, cut that out. Can't do none of that. But recently, I don't care. I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm going out. Oh, yeah, Tottenham. I don't really care. Do I want to watch Tottenham versus this? Nah, I don't. Do I care if I miss that? Nah, I don't. I'll watch it on my phone. Not going to miss much. Miss 3 shots. Man missed 2 whole games. I can't say. I missed a half and I missed a whole game. Palace, and then I missed the first half of Sunderland. I started watching Sunderland about 40 minutes in. And in that whole game against Crystal Palace, that whole first half against Sunderland, I didn't even miss 5 shots on target. I saved myself. Yeah. I saved myself nearly 2 hours. 2 hours of my own time of sitting there waiting to see less than 5 shots on target. You know what you need? Now, imagine I would have waited 2 hours, wasted all my time watching the game to see 3 or 4 shots on target. Like, we're going mad, man. But look, we are here to talk about transfers. I just thought I'd start off giving you guys my thoughts, seeing as has been so long. People are going to be like, you Frank out? Where you at with Frank? Get Frank out the fuck of my club. I am Frank the fuck out. Yeah. Quite frankly, I'm done with this guy. And yeah. Someone shout out to the NSO boys. Someone said he looks like a villain. And somebody called him Norman Osborn. And it wasn't me. And I was like, yo, my man is actually him. It's Oscorp. Spurs is Oscorp, fam. We got Norman Osborn at the helm. Just know that he's going to turn into the Green Goblin real soon. And it's going to get dark. It's going to get dark. Yeah? Trust me. Morning, Jords. Good morning to my boy, John. Hope you're well. Catching up with the chat and that. Big up to everyone inside. I'm literally going to catch up to you guys, then we'll go through some of the reports that we've been seeing over the last 24 hours. Frank's still here. Sorry to depress you, Jords. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't see that at the start of the run, because then I might have really started to go mad. Junjay Deweke is still depressed. Yeah, man. Gallagher, Diomande. Yeah, man. There's some of the people linked, but we're gonna go into that. Just like the club, all the other boys getting some action, but I'm still sitting here playing with my thumbs. Where are the deals at Spurs? Seems like they said change was gonna happen. They said that, you know, Daniel Levy's gone. Change is upon us. Joe Lewis's Vivian and her husband are taking over. They're going to transform Spurs. They want to show a more winning mentality. There's a 150 million war chest available in January. bullshit. Same old shit, same old club doing the same old things. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. And I'm not surprised. Chelsea and us might have a manager bounce, but we have to see what Rosinha does. See, I don't watch Strasbourg, so I don't really know much about Rosinha. All I know about Rosinha is they aren't over. Or do you know? From my knowledge, they aren't overachieving. In Liga on. But at the same time, look, they're mid-table. They're 7th right now, so they're below even Chelsea are. He got 24 points. He's actually 0 wins in his last 5. That's the stat for you. 0 wins in his last 5. In fact, they're the only team in the top 12 to be 0 wins in their last top 13 to be 0 wins in the last 5. So they was probably high up in the table to start the season, and then they fell off. 3 losses, 2 draws. Yeah, that dark. Going through the same run of patch that Chelsea went through in this December period. And they're not even playing right now. They've had like a break. Because I think their last game would have been 2 weeks ago. It was... Oh, no, tell that they've been... It was on the weekend. They broke up from 21st to the 3rd. So they come back and then they still didn't win. So... Is it going to get any better for Chelsea? They don't look so good. But at the same time, is it getting better for Spurs? My concentration levels are extremely low. I should be concentrating on Tottenham. But who's in charge at Spurs? Who's allowed to sack the manager? Vinay Venkatesham. Vinay is the man in charge of Spurs. He's the guy that should be sacking the manager. But yet again, we know that he was horrible at Arsenal. Arsenal fans didn't have one good word to say about him. Nobody was like, no, he's leaving. Not like with the City sporting director. Everyone's like, no, don't let him go. He's the contract specialist. With Vinay, they were like, Tottenham have got him. Low. And I'm like, bruv, shit. It's already good signs. Already bad signs, sorry. It's already a bad sign. If the fans are happy that he's left and he's come to us, it's bad signs. And do you know what's funny about this footy corner? Because I've seen you, I've seen you in the comments, seen you in the chat. Big up to you every single time because you're another creator like myself. But you can't rattle me with these things because it's the facts. Like, if I state a fact, and you guys are mad at the facts, then what am I to do about it? Like, if I look at it right now, in the away Premier League table, you're slightly above us by 2 points. But Spurs have secured 18 of their 27 points away from home in 10 games. That's more than Man City, more than Villa, more than Chelsea, more than a lot of teams. Our away record is still good. I know I said this 2 months ago when we played, but 2 months have gone on and we've still maintained a very good away record. We've actually only lost 2 games away from home. 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Same as yourselves. You just managed to get a win and we got a draw. That's the only difference between us, 2 points. So, I mean, yeah, we are still, second in the away league. We're one of the top teams away from home. You can say that's a positive. But, I know myself from a Thomas Frank team. Look at Brentford last season. It'd be very clear to see that they were very good. Look, I'll get this up right now, in fact. I can show you the record. Because I'm pretty sure first half of the season they were unbeaten at home and the second half of the season they were unbeaten away. And it just happens. Like, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Does that mean it's good for us? No. I don't think so. I talk about bad, isn't it? That's just the facts. Let me Durag declines. Big up to my guy Kengiz, man. We are moving backwards and sideways like your hairline. Leave it. No, what? Huh? Man, I keep trying to talk about my hairline like it's not clean. I had a fresh trim a couple weeks ago and it was looking sharp. And now man's like, yeah, it's hanging on. It's hanging on. Not for dear life like Spurs, though. We're hanging on for dear life. My shit is going to be around for a while. Yeah. Come like Bergvall, Archie Gray. It don't really, the potential's there, but it's going to be around for a while regardless. Let's see under which manager will this potential be fulfilled. You know, one of them ones. We are playing rich man Stoke shit. We're not playing rich man Stoke shit because we don't even spend that much more money than Stoke did. Like we're not even doing the rich man thing. It's so mad. Man said United need to suffer. He's taking the piss. They do though. They do. I'm here, Carrick interim for us. You're not hearing right because I know what I'm seeing, Mustafa. Ole, 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 ole. Ole. Do you know that? Big up to Karma. That's still a member in the house. We still got memberships available. Gonna be doing more membership exclusive content this month, obviously, with it being the transfer window. We're gonna be doing more uploads, more stuff just ad hocly. So look out for that. Shorts as well. We're just working on doing more content. I always told you guys January you're going to be going hard again, so we will be. I know we're like 6 days in. There's only been a few videos, but trust me, we're going hard this month. You'll definitely be seeing content every single day, if not every single day. We're sticking to that. This fraudulent Danish stroop waffle got me on my knees watching my team. Pause. Man has started celebrating shots on target now. Facts. That's the celebrations now. Man's talking about shots on target is like a huge thing to man right now. Big up Jords in the chat. Question: which midfielder in the squad is proactive, capable of bringing the ball from the defense to an attack without losing the ball? Good question, Prez. And thank you for sending this over. For me, I think the best midfielder that we have at doing this is Bergvall. I think Bergvall is probably our best long-range passer. Maybe not as good in the short range, but can carry the ball through the lines. Good at picking it up on the half turn. Good at taking his man on. Make some smart decisions. At times can be young and naive because he's only 19 years of age. And I think his positioning probably isn't the best when we play him in the pivot. But when we talk about the ability and technical flooring, he's probably the best. Or, you know, him and Archie Gray, there and thereabouts, very similar levels. But I would prefer Bergvall personally because I just think his decision-making is slightly better. Plus, he's a lot more physical. When you're picking it up from deep, there's going to be a lot of times you're dealing with the high press. You got to have a player that's physical enough to be able to bounce off of players and not just be pushed over so easily. So, great question for me. Yeah, it would definitely be Bergvall. But I do think that the midfielder we are going to be targeting, as we'll see in the reports, is to solve that issue. But it seems like I'm so far behind the chat still. So let me catch up. All right, lads, stay away from Inaman in Jai, lad. You know what, lad? I wish I could, but sound like you got a good player there, lad. I'm just gonna be honest, lad. But Malcolm, lad, you can try keep him away from us, lad. But yeah, man. Frankly, I think Jords, you are still Frankenstein in. Yeah, some guys don't listen. As a Brazilian, bro, Sousa is a top left back. Okay. At least so Brennan Johnson, the IDF. Yo, Ken Giz, man, allow them. Don't even start saying stuff like that, bro. Sometimes I read things out quicker than I actually hear it or like see it. So I'm just reading. But yeah. Yo, slow down, man. Way, Hairline Jords is back. Nah, it's just Durag's not back because we ain't won in a while, bro. I don't even have like, what am I putting the Durag on for? We ain't winners. We're down right now. But let's see. We don't even have 2 league wins since December. Sack till we find one that can buy a win. Dog. Big up, Jords. Big up to my guy TG TV in the house. Spurs are just afraid to play at home. It's funny because I don't know if you guys have seen across Twitter, but Ryan Mason's having the same problem right now as well. But on the other side of things, but he's 10 losses in a row away from home, which is madness. Maybe it's just a Spurs thing. It's Spursy, innit? Njai is not for sale. 3.5 years left in his contract. Furthermore, why would he leave Everton for Spurs at this current time? Spurs are worse than the Toffees. I suppose in form we are worse than the Toffees, but we always present a bigger opportunity than playing at Everton. We're Spurs. We are bigger than Everton. We're better than Everton. We compete in Europe more consistently than Everton, and probably, whether you like it or not, whether Frank's gonna leave, which he will probably soon enough. Spurs are gonna be in a better position over the next 3.5 years of his career. So he would leave. He would definitely leave. Just want Pochettino back in the summer, to be honest. Only one who can reunite the fans back with the club playing good attacking football and win games consistently, make us competitive again. Yeah, put the fries in the bag. Forget about Pochettino, man. Let's move on from this guy. I'll take Maresca. I'll take Xavi. I'll take Jords at this point. See, unfortunately for you guys, I'm not available for a coaching job at Spurs. Just don't think that they're gonna match my ambition for players. So I'd like to respectfully pass. But I think Maresca or Xavi would do a great job at the helm. Maresca is definitely, I'd take him. As if Chelsea or not, I'd definitely take Maresca. I'm not going to lie. He's better than Frank. Is he my ideal manager? No, he definitely has a lot of flaws that I'm not happy with, but he's a good manager nonetheless. Big up, Happy New Year. Big up to Broderick, Happy New Year to you and to everyone else as well. Big up to my guy Raf in the building as well. Yes, Jords, wagwan to you, bro. I didn't, so you don't realize. I'll look at the comment, I'll start reading, and then I'll realize what's actually been said. And I'm like, yo, I've just said something. Yeah, crazy work. Yeah, that's a that's all cool and all. How many European trophies you got? Yeah. But on the side of transfer news, because sorry, I know it's been a long intro. We've been catching up with everyone, so big up to the chat and all. But let's go through some of the transfer news and the things that I have been seeing, because apparently this has come out just a few days ago. Obviously, he did play in the last game, started as well, really. But Mathys Tel is apparently unhappy at Spurs and is set to leave the club on loan, with Galatasaray interested. Spurs are willing to let the 20-year-old depart after he failed to start a league game since October and was unused in the last 3 matches. Now, it does say tier 1. It does say the source is Ben Jacobs. For this, I just want to put my hand up and personally say, I don't think this is true. I think not off the back of his last performance, because, again, one thing we need to stop doing right now, because I know we're down bad. We are. But let's just stop gassing up mediocrity. Yeah, I didn't watch the full 90 minutes, but I saw enough. I saw about 60 minutes of the game. And in the 60 minutes that I saw, Mathys Tel was not pulling up no trees. Him and Odobert were not the top performers that people were talking about. Oh, they played really well against Sunderland. Give them another game to build on it. Mathys Tel was all right. He was all right. But all right is not good enough. These guys are 20 and 21 years old. If you're going to be starting at a top 6 Premier League club, you need to be starting because you're good enough, not starting because everyone else is shit. And that's the problem. Right now, we go into the deep... Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to turn off my heat. Sorry, the portable heat is on. I see I got this on. I got to jump on. It's mad hot. Mad hot in here right now. But we got to stop gassing up mediocrity. Because our other players are performing shit, let's not gas up the players that come on the pitch and do better than the shit ones will do. Mathys Tel is better than Johnson on the ball. He played better than Johnson when he was playing. Doesn't mean he's good. He's easier to watch than Aiden Richarlison. Doesn't mean he's good. Now, I do think Mathys Tel probably should be given a little chance this month to try and get a run of games whilst we have no left winger, because we need to go out there and sign one, and Spurs haven't acted on until they do act. We got a few games. Bournemouth on Thursday, or maybe Wednesday. Thursday, I think it is. Bournemouth on Thursday, Aston Villa on the weekend. We got a few, or Wednesday. It's definitely Wednesday. Sorry. See, this is the ADHD. It's grabbing one thing and it's pulling another one. It's like, yo, where are we going with this? But no, Wednesday, Saturday, we got Bournemouth and then Aston Villa. Two very tough games. Two games against teams that is probably good to manage where your level of squad is at right now. Bournemouth are in really bad form. So if there's any team to take advantage of and try and get a result from, it would be them. Although they did get the 2-2 against Chelsea just last week. Matisse Tell is going to be the one player that should see quite a few minutes in these two games. With Aston Villa being the team he scored his first goal against last season. Now, I do think that he would be good to keep around simply off the basis we have sold Brennan Johnson. So we sort of need all the attacking options available. Mohamed Kudus is now injured. Madison doesn't look like he's going to be back this season. Kulusevski, I thought he'd be back by now, but still no news. Solanke, we're being told, could still be another month before he's back. So it's not looking good in the front line options for us. So we can't afford to be selling any players or getting rid of any players or sending any out on loan. We need all of them at home here contributing to our team, especially with 2 Champions League games. It's a very, very busy schedule this month, you know. When I'm deep in it now in my head, let me get the fixtures up. Spurs have got so much. We got Bournemouth tomorrow, and then we go Aston Villa on Saturday, West Ham next week, and then we've got Dortmund, and then Burnley, and then Frankfurt, and then City. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the space of 4 weeks, we got another 7 games. So pretty much 2 games a week you're looking at, barring 1 week, which is next week, where you get a slight break between the Villa and West Ham games. But we got 2 huge Champions League games in here where we need to secure the top 8. So very key that we do something before those games, which is our first one, is the 20th. We need signings in before the 20th. But let's move on to the next report, because this is something that I'm really, really not impressed with. Because I've been seeing reports from Ben Jacobs again today, yesterday, suggesting that Spurs are looking for a progressive passer in the midfield, a deep line playmaker of some sort. So someone that can sort of be all action, all areas in that midfield. Somebody to pair up with the number 6, whether that's Archie Gray, whether that's going to be Bentancur, whether that's going to be Paulinho, however Frank works in this system. We're looking for an all-action midfielder to come in and play in that 8 role. Conor Gallagher has been mentioned, dating back to his move even over to Atletico Madrid when Ange first moved in. I should say Ange's second season in the summer when we signed Archie Gray and Bergvall. Originally, Conor Gallagher was one of the players we was linked with heavily. Now, as we're seeing, and which really doesn't make sense for me, is if we sign Conor Gallagher, he's going to come in and take the place of a Bergvall, Archie Gray, or a Sarr. 3 young players that we've signed to potentially be a part of this team and, you know, build the team around their ability, but we're not really giving much of them the opportunity in the right positions to perform and excel in them young selves. But as it states here, Conor Gallagher's open to move to Tottenham this January, with Spurs among the leading clubs in talks over his future. Atletico Madrid are willing to listen to offers for the midfielder, and Thomas Frank sees Gallagher as a strong fit for his midfield plans. I think the one thing for the Conor Gallagher stuff and all the links that we see with this is Conor Gallagher is a player Spurs have admired for a while. He's going to come at a fairly decent price. I can't imagine this exceeding 35 to 40 million, probably a very similar fee for what we gave up to Brennan Johnson. He's English, he's homegrown. There's quite a lot of factors as to why Spurs might go and get this deal done this season. He's been playing, do you know what? I can't say he's not been playing football, because he's still playing a lot of games. Still appeared in, I believe, 19 La Liga appearances, and every Champions League game he has played in. Started the half of the Champions League games, then came on for the other half, and then in the La Liga has sort of been a half-time substitution, if not the player that started in half or so of the game. So he's having around 10 starts in the La Liga this season. So still seeing quite a bit of minutes, but does seem surplus to requirements in the Diego Simeone system at the moment, just because they're quite packed in that midfield area, and it would make sense for them to make a sale. Me personally, you guys know me, I feel strongly against this Conor Gallagher move. Now, in this Thomas Frank team, I can understand why Conor Gallagher will work. He'll come into the midfield, probably sit next to Archie Gray, who may play in the deep line role in the 6, or maybe next to Bentancur, maybe Paulinho even. I would prefer maybe Paulinho if it's going to be any of them. But you put him next to Paulinho, you've now got someone who can break down the play, who can progress the play, I can help move the ball forward, as well as being a goal-scoring threat at times. The only thing is with Conor Gallagher, his actual on-the-ball ability isn't that great. So as much as he is decent with the progressive pass, he's very inconsistent, loses the ball at times, makes silly passes, and his decision-making is not necessarily the best. So me personally, I don't think we should be going to sign a Conor Gallagher. At this point in his career, how old is he? He's 25. Going to be 26 next year, probably looking for a big contract. We're going to be signing him to a 4 or 5 year that will take him into his 30s. So you're looking at a player that's coming into his prime, but also could be past his best. With me personally thinking that he's played his best years at West Brom, at Palace. You know, those 2 earlier loan spells in the Premier League where he was really impressing. Had a good first year at Chelsea and hasn't really built upon that. So I don't know, man. I'm not a massive fan of Conor Gallagher. I had a huge debate in the summer with Sava, basically for me saying that Sarr would be the better contributor throughout this season. Now, at that point, I think that was sometime in September, Sarr had started off the season really well, was in great form, and it made a lot of sense to me to keep giving Sarr the opportunity to perform and not bring in a Gallagher to come and, you know, just add a 6 out of 10 performance every single game, or 7 out of 10 performance every single game in that 8. Now, with Sarr dropping off form and, you know, us having no mainstay in the midfield, I can understand more why this signing would make sense for us. But I'm not for this Thomas Frank system, so I don't want to be signing players for this system when I know Conor Gallagher can work in other systems too, but I don't want to sign a number 8 for this system when we should be going to get a pure deep line playmaker. The central midfielder we should be looking at the likes of Angelo Stiller, Adam Wharton, Elliot, and the higher level, we need a top midfielder. And like, we're gonna go for a low level midfielder, but I'd rather go get me a Hayden Hackney than go get a Conor Gallagher. And that's a push. I do think Hayden Hackney is really talented. I think his actual all-round play will suit what we need in the team. But again, the quality is not there. He's not proven at the higher level. Conor Gallagher's proven, but proven to what extent? I think he's reached the peak. I think we've seen his ceiling, is what I'm saying. I think we've seen his ceiling. With Hayden Hackney, I don't think we have. But at the same time, who knows what his ceiling is, because Championship football. So this is the problems of being a scout, obviously, trying to find the right players to fit in the team at the right time for the right price. But Conor Gallagher is going to be a player that is always linked to Tottenham. Not too sure why. He's a Cobham boy at heart. It's not like we love him or anything. But Spurs just always seem to be linked with him. And this window, there has been no change with that. But Jun says Ben Jacobs talks a whole lot of bollocks. Man has a hit rate of about 30% on transfer. To be fair, in the summer transfer window, he was pretty accurate. He done pretty well. But I do hear you. Matisse Tell, I'll buy him a one-way ticket to Istanbul and leave him there. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. You cost 40. Yeah, the 40 million is mad. When I actually deep, he cost 40 million. It's madness. What's Eze done getting carried by other players? Can you dig it? So that's Eze, fam. The highlight of Eze's Arsenal career will be when man does a Spinneroonie celebration. That's all I want to see. Get on the floor and give us the "Can you dig it?" I like Booker T, fam. Like, Eze ain't done nothing for these man all season. But hey, I ain't here to talk about Eze today. I really ain't. That's another day, another conversation. All I know is man's been on the bench for 5 games in a row. Yeah. dark, Jay. That's what I mean. He's not the most. He's better than what we've got at progressive passing. Like he's better than Bensko. He's better than Paulinho. But do you know what? Actually, let me get the stats up for that because has he been? I've seen a couple Champions League games. I feel like but in La Liga, has he been? Let's have a look, man. Let's actually have a look into this. Let's have a look into the performance data of Conor Gallagher. It's not gonna give me. Do you know what? Let me chuck him in a data MB. Let's chuck him in a data MB. We all know we love to run up a data MB. Let's chuck him in and compare him this season because that would be a good way to actually see how he performs next to some of the other players that we have in our squad right now. Let's compare him to our midfielders because, as we know, that's the biggest problem I think we have in our team is our midfield. You're going to see most of them don't have the right amount of minutes because they're all so choppy, changey. This is our midfielders at the moment. There's also, look, you've got, this is definitely Paulinho, dual percentage, possession one, nothing else. You've got Papsar, who adds you a little bit of everything away from, again, progressive passes. This is madness, by the way. This is absolute madness. How Paulinho is our best progressive passer is absolutely criminal. Criminal! Now, for Bergvall, he's played in the 10 a lot more this season. So, and I know it always seems like I've got an excuse for Bergvall. This is my guy, Torfin. As you guys know, if you've been following me since the start of the channel, yeah, Torfin, my Viking, Bergvall is out here putting in works, yeah. So, yes, I do have a bias towards him. He's my guy. I've got some favoritism. We all have favoritism towards certain players. So, yes, Bergvall, I'm going to make an excuse. Yes, I will. But we all know he has played slightly further forward. So, the progressive passes I would take would be slightly lower. But at the same time, there is really no excuse because I need to see more from all of you. All of them are not playing good enough. Yeah. As we can see here, it looks to seem, you know, let me take out Bergvall for a second. Or to be fair, he's played more minutes than yeah. Well, you can see Paulinho and Ben score most minutes, of course. Let me chuck Gallagher in there. It's because I wanna take some players out to make it a little bit easier on the eye, because as we can see, there is so much going on. But I think you can already see here. This is why I think we probably looked into Gallagher. I think Gallagher on the possession one is really, really good at winning the ball back. You can put him in a deep line role, and he can give you basically what Bentancur gives you across the pitch defensively, but he's also a slightly better on the ball going forward. You can see here key passes up at 47.1, forward pass percentage 93.8. So he does tend to make lots more forward passes. The progressive carries out at 28.1, but again, still higher than Bentancur, still higher than Paulinho. He just gives you a nice average across the field. I just see if I take out, let's just take out Paulinho because he's probably not going to play the same position as him. Let's take out Bergvall because then Frank is not going to play the same position. When you can compare them, you can see here the player with the most, the actual most limited player here is definitely Rodrigo Bentancur. Rodrigo Bentancur, literally the lowest in all stats apart from dual percentages, which is only slightly more than that of Papsar. Archie Gray obviously lower because he's just not a physical specimen. We all know that about him. But where Archie Gray does excel compared to some of our other players, again, is the forward passes. Bentancur, Paulinho are just so much further lower. And even Sarr is quite high because Sarr likes to get onto the ball and, you know, again, progressively carry. Sarr's been pretty decent this year. He's just very up and down. Obviously, he's been out of the team due to AFCON over the past month. But even before that, he had an injury. And then he was up and down. But I can see why Gallagher is wanted. It's just not the player for me. Like I can't sit here and say Gallagher's terrible because I'd be lying to you if that was the case. But it's just not my player. Just not my guy, my steez. But you know what? Let me know what you guys think. Is Gallagher the one? Like I'll be real, Jords, Gallagher is better than them still. That's where I'm at, innit? That's where I'm at. Like, we agree there, Jay, that he's better than some of these, man. But is he the player we need? George to debate touchline. Me and touchline don't have a debate. Shout out to touchline though, but my man's he's always on something I said, lying about things I've said. He's got to grow up, man. Players like Gallagher signing for Spurs would be good for Bergvall and Gray as they can learn from Gallagher, taking the pressure off them, and it wouldn't force their development before they're ready. I do get you, and I do think that it's key to surround young players with experienced players to make sure that they're getting the most and they can pick up, you know, pointers and they're not being forced to play loads of games just due to the unavailability. But at the same time, I don't think Gallagher is the player that I really want them learning from because he's a bit all over the place with his positioning and so on. So Conor Gallagher is basically a white pap. Saar man is just a runner. Signing all man that are runners are not technical footballers, brother. I'm tired. Gallagher wants to be in a World Cup squad. Yeah, that is right. I can't do a job in the midfield though. I'm trying to get my cardio back. I've started to wake up and do some jogging, get a little kilometer in every now and then. So yeah, no, I don't think I can do the midfielder job, but at centre back, yo, run me next to Van der Ven. Things are going in, isn't it? He's another big pit bull with box crashing. But I know. I said, like, it's not I don't rate him. Just, yeah, hesitant with him. Elliot Anderson, Cobb Mainu, Alex Scott would be a good one as well. I think I said him earlier in the season. I think Alex Scott would be a player I'd put on my list. The only thing is, again, maybe the quality. If we had better players, Alex Scott would be a good one to sign. But because we've got young players, we need to sign someone that way level above them. Can't sign someone who's only a little bit better than him. The Spinneroony is for Arteta Jords after 5 years of failure. Big up, man. Personally, Spurs should be looking at Lewis Ferguson, but Conor Gallagher is levels above the Spurs. I don't think he's levels above. But he's better. He's better. Liverpool turn up though against us. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm trying to catch up. What does Bergvall do? Pinky and the brain settings. What is Bergvall going to do this game? The same thing he does every game. He gives the ball away. Bergvall's not been used in a good position, man. Bergvall's been used in the number 10, being told to create, being told to be the focal point around making things happen in the final third, but that's not his style of play. His style of play is picking it up from a bit deeper, progressing it, doing some long balls, linking the play, you know, driving through the midfield, tempo setting at times. You can't put him in a creative role when he's not a creative player. Be creative at a lower level, but at a Premier League level, he's not going to be threading passes through the lines. That's just not who he is. Heitinger interim, I'll take it. Players rate him more than Slot. Man said Heitinger, you're going mad. Hello, brother. Shout out to my guy as well, another member in the house. Level, that's what I mean. The levels above is crazy. People are getting mad, like they're stretching it. Is Durag in a position to say no to Gallagher? I'm unsubscribing. Fair enough, go unsubscribe, bro. It's really not that deep to me. Like, big up to everyone inside though. Make sure, look, we got 48 people in the building. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you haven't already. Lou, man, dead your subscription then, clearly, because I don't rate Gallagher. I'm not going to change my mind on that to get a subscription. Make sure you guys smashing the likes. On further news, Spurs are looking for, Santos are looking for an excess of 30 million euro package with a healthy sell-on fee for left-back Souza. Now, if you guys did miss my previous video, I did do an upload explaining Spurs had apparently put in a bid. Now, I don't know how reliable the sources have been because it's come out from a few different people, but nobody tier one, like not on Ornstein. Fabrizio's are like a tier 1/2 anyway. But no one proper good has said that we have put in a bid. But apparently it was an €8 million bid. They want around 30 million euros. Santos are happy for 50% of the package to be add-ons and 16 million and further 16 million add-ons. I did also see that, like I said, they're looking for a healthy sell-on fee. So they want around 30%, I believe it was. It was 25 or 30% that they want as a sell-on fee. So basically, we're going to sign 70% of the player. And I personally think 30 million euros is far too much. Now, obviously, like I said, it could be 15 million, then another 15 million with add-ons, which personally is not that much. Would go for it. Don't know too much about the player. Done some research, and on the scouting report, they stated very good 1v1 attacker. He's more of an attacking fullback, someone who likes to get down the wing, likes to take on his man, very good on the overlap. Technical ability is really strong. Is more, I think he was like a winger converted into a fullback, like Mosa. They call him Baby Marcelo out in Brazil. Supposed to be very good. Like one boss, look, one boss is here saying again, all young top Brazilian left backs are moving to Europe. Chubano to Forest, Kaiki, Bruno to Como, and Souza is top. Very well balanced. And that's the thing I have heard. I heard he's got a good balance to his game. Defensively, very good in the 1v1 as well, but can work on, you know, other things surrounding positioning and so on. Spurs need left back. There's no denying that. We saw Ben Davies start in our last game. Ben Davies starting in 2026 is something I never even thought would be a possibility. But we are 11 years down the line with Ben Davies, who has been, do you know what, a great servant to the club in some aspects, because he's always been around, never batted an eyelid, never really kicked up a fuss, but always there when we need him. Didn't really actually have a bad game, and he scored the winning. I was going to say winning. It wasn't winning. An equalizing goal for us, or he scored the goal to go ahead. He scored the goal in the game, and do you know what? Credit to him for that. But, again, should we be signing a left back that we don't really know much about? Don't know if he's going to perform in Europe. I do say we don't sign enough, you know, Joga Benito Brazilians. So, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to fall back for a second, you know. Sit back, lean Joe. Fat Joe says, I need to fall back. Because I'm always talking about quality, always talking about signing quality, but I'm always mad when we're getting these Fugazi Bolivians pretending to be Brazilians, like Richarlison, Emerson, and them and there. If we can get one in for about £15 million, why not? Take the risk. If he's no good, send him out on loan. He could build up some, you know, build up some value at another team and then sell him on. That's how these deals work. We've got to start to do more of these. But I should have been seeing Spurs. Look, we've got Chelsea scouting the player. Also see news surrounding Bayern Munich interested into the player. So if Spurs are going to want to make a move in this, it's going to have to be quick. Spurs are going to have to be quick. So let's see in it. Souza, left backs. People want to see a left back signed. This could be the man on his way. And yes, that was the report that I saw regarding Thomas Frank is looking for a central midfielder who is with full of energy and has pace and is a progressive passer. I generally think that that person they're talking about is kind of like the way they say it, full of energy. This is the shit that I hear all the time. He just wants somebody that's going to win duels, that's going to be a hard worker. He just wants another, like you say, a White Sar in midfield. Get me Curtis Jones at this point. Bring me Curtis Jones. I'd actually take Curtis Jones. He'd start for us. I'll take Curtis Jones. Why not? At this point, we might as well. Like, there's no harm done in doing so. And sorry, yes, this was the other report regarding Jan Diomande. The most important report, to be fair, because obviously this is a player that we was rumored to be interested in. A 50 to 60 million pound fee is being quoted for this player. Diomande, who, to be fair, I didn't know about prior to this season, has only been at Leipzig for the first 6 months of this year, which always seems to happen. You get these players go over to the Bundesliga, they have a good 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and then they move on to another club. Bayern are also keen on Jan Diomande from RB Leipzig and have already had him on the list for the coming summer. The plan is still to bring in a top talent for the wing, preferably on the left side. Said El Mala remains very high on the list. Other candidates are being monitored. In the end, the price will be decisive. The Diomande with a contract until 2030 with no release clause, a move after the World Cup is possible. So Diomande is a player to watch. Spurs might make a move in him. Spurs might not make a move in him. But considering we spent £40 million on Matisse Tell, we might as well go out there and sign a player for £50 to £60 million this window. We're going to have to spend 50 to 60 million because we spent 40 on a young prospect rather than investing that into a proven player, a starter, someone who can come in and take our left wing to the next level. Do I think Diomande is that guy? Again, can't really tell you. Me personally, didn't know him before he went to Leipzig. From what I've seen of him, he's explosive, he's raw, he's got sort of that Madueke feel to him where he can beat his man. He's very active, very busy, but in front of goal, he looks to be a goal scorer. But again, this is Bundesliga, a lot of space in behind. Timo Werner scored nearly 20 goals over there. Like, Leipzig, do us a favor. We scratched your back taking my man on loan for 2 years. Can you scratch our back by doing us a deal now? Just gave you 52 million plus 8 for Xavi Simons. Can you scratch our back right now? Is this the player that we need? Again, I think we need high quality. Go get me someone proven. But hey, I think we're all on the same aspect of that. Go bring me a Lookman or something. Get me a player who's guaranteed to get goals. Because I am tired of signing potential or signing players that have performed well for 6 months and then are going to be shit because they need to transition into the Premier League. They need to adjust and they need this period. And then I have to write off the rest of the season and then think about next season and be like, yo, give him a chance now. And then he's shit for 3 months and then I'm going to try like copium. I'm done with all that. I'm done with doing this. Just sign me a player that I could be like, yeah, he's good. This is the one. Go get me a Kudus level player on the left-hand wing. Whoever that is, go out there and get it done. But Jan Diomande doesn't look like he's going to be coming to Spurs anytime soon, man. I'll be honest, people. Right off that deal, I don't think it's happening. Are we watching the same Spurs midfield? I don't rate any of them. Conor Gallagher is better than Bergvall, Gray, Sarr right now. Paulinho is a loan. Spurs wouldn't make permanent. No resale value. Yeah, I don't think we will make his loan permanent. I'll be honest. I was a huge fan of Paulinho for the first couple months, but starting to realize that whenever Paulinho plays and starts in our midfield, that's when our worst build-up starts to happen. Now, if he played next to someone that was good at build-up, and if the system was set up to make the build-up better, don't think he'd be performing as badly. But away from what he does off the ball, doesn't give enough to us on the ball, though it did show that he's our most progressive passer somehow in the midfield. I don't think that you can sit here and say Bergvall, Gray and Sarr have been awful this season. Bergvall hasn't been at his best, but has been played out of position for the majority of it. Most Spurs fans can tell you that. Gray has actually been impressive at times, but again, has his limitations away from his on-the-ball ability, just not good enough physically, positionally. And he's 19, still got a long way to learn. Sarr's a difficult one because he's been at the club for a while. He's actually been playing first team for a while. If we can get a good fee for Sarr, I would sell Sarr. Somebody comes in at 35 million, might as well take the money we can get whilst he's worth that. But again, at the same time, I would like to see more from Sarr because he does have a higher ability. You can see a better on the ball from him. We can see he started to score goals this season. He has that ability, but it's just with Sarr, there was like a stagnant. I was feared last year that he stagnated, and it started off really well this year, and it's just stagnated again. So fearful that if he does go another season like this, he's going to have to be a player that we look to sell, especially whilst he's still young. No more South American players. Romero, Bentancur, and Richie have all floundered at Spurs. They're too temperamental. Romero has become a liability. I don't think that's a South. I do think South Americans have that trait, but the South American players we have in Bentancur, well, Richie is just Richie's Richie. Bentancur is Bentancur. We just got the worst kind of them. That's all it is. Like we've got the extremes. Fullback Jords hating on baby Roberto Carlos. I ain't hating on Sousa. I'm not hating on Sousa at all. Curtis Jones is Oliver Skip in disguise. A little bit, but Curtis Jones is actually right. I actually like Curtis Jones. Jones is far better playing. Yeah, he is. That's what I would be at. There has to be better players than Jones. There is. I'm not saying I want Jones. I'm saying I would take Jones. I see Ben Davies as a damning indictment of Tottenham laziness when it comes to recruitment. He had never been a first-team player in the first team for 11 years. Now he has gone past Ben 10. He will leave. Yeah, I think we can all agree there as Spurs fans. Nobody expected to see him play a part in the first team this season, yet somehow he is here. Definitely, you can call it an indictment. I suppose it happens at all clubs. Some players just somehow stay on the books for so long, never really an important part of the team. But like Luke Shaw at Manchester United, I'm pretty sure Luke Shaw's been there for as long as Ben Davies has been at us. They probably, do you know what's funny enough? They're probably at like similar ages as well. I'd guess Luke Shaw's slightly younger, just slightly younger, but they've been at the clubs for around the same time. I think when did Luke Shaw join Manchester United? He joined around 2015, 2014. So it would have been, like 11 years. And somehow you're sat here, you're like, bro, Luke Shaw, how's he at Man United? How's Ben Davies at? It just happens, bruv. At least he was a first team player, though. I'll give it to that. He's actually been a first team player for many years, and Luke Shaw was good for a long time. Jords, we're all bloody tired. Yeah, we are. We are all tired, my bro. It's like Tottenham management board doesn't know what to do. Why can't we sign someone like BAYERN? We don't know what to do. That's the problem. Our management board never know what to do. I'm not being funny. Our sporting director looks like he's leaving midway through the window, which is madness. We just have a very poor setup and things aren't changing. Until our wage structure is amended, we will never attract top players. Grealish, who has been linked with us. Yeah, no, I think our wage structure apparently, I mean, Xavi Simons is on a very big wage. So I don't think the wage structure is actually the problem right now. Although I do agree in some aspects, we do need to start going on the higher echelon of wage, but I don't think that is the problem right now. We're just not approaching the right players, so we're not going to attract those players. But you are right in the grand scheme of things. We do need to make our wage budget, our wage structure a lot better. Obvious left side player we need is Rafa Leao. Leao doesn't come to us. So Luke Shaw's seen about 6 different, probably more, bro. Probably more. 2014 to now, he's definitely probably seen close to 9 or 10 managers, including the interims. Man had Ole, man had Mourinho, man had Van Gaal, man would have had Ten Hag, Amorim, would have had Ragnarok, whatever his name is, bruv. Man like Carrick, he would have had Giggsy, he would have had the Bear Man, like 8 or 9 or 10 Bear Man. It's coming close. Ben Davies the same though. Ben Davies is on about manager 7 right now. Pochettino, Mourinho, Conte, Postecoglou, Frank, Mason, Nuno. 7. He's on manager 7, bruv. What are we doing here? Jords to debate Don Husam. Yeah, shout out to Husam. I've been doing that. I'm watching from Vietnam, by the way. Big up to Shaw, man. Watching from Vietnam. That's what we love to see. Durag Diaries going global. Spurs going global. Hopefully, Spurs can do something in this window to make us happy because we need it, man. If we're not going to win games, can we at least win the transfer window? I know it's shameless, people, but I am going to be shameless. Like, give me a transfer. Give me someone or something so we can get a money sleeve. Yeah. Because I know it ain't just me that wants to see it. I know you guys want to see it. I know you, man, want to see it as well. The money sleeves are waiting. They're waiting in abundance. Man says, I'm watching from Highbury. Big up to my guy, Elijah, man. Oh, finally checking into the chat. Watching from Dublin, be up to PFC. That's what we love to see. Right, we got people all over the globe watching right now, checking in. Chelsea have just confirmed their new head coach as well. Liam Rosignol, aka Matisse, is now going to be their head manager. And what's this news regarding Ryan Mason? Did he get sacked? I wouldn't be. Oh, he got sacked. Ryan Mason has now been sacked after their 10th consecutive away defeat. So I started off the stream saying it's a Spursy thing. Man can't win away from home. But he's now been sacked. Hopefully Thomas Franklin gets sacked. Ryan Mason back in the helm, eh? On that note, people, big up, God bless, goodbye. I hope everyone has an amazing day. If there is anything you guys want me to continue to make content about, I might try and make some stuff on some of the other rival teams, give you guys my thoughts on the Manchester United situation and the Chelsea situation. We'll probably have some stuff coming out maybe sometime later on today, if not tomorrow. May go again live tonight with some of the boys to just bring together a little boardroom or maybe a Let's Talk Football, whatever it is. So yeah, man, people, make sure you look out for that. But big up to everyone inside the chat regardless. And make sure, what are we on right now? Likewise, let me check likes. Let me just check likes. Currently on 29 likes. Not great. Would be nice to be on 50. It would be nice to be on 50, but obviously, look, I think going into this year, I'm just gonna let you guys do your thing with the likes. Because hey, if you could like the video, you like the video. If you don't, you don't. Would appreciate if you do though, because you know it don't take a second. It don't cost you nothing to like the video. It's just got to click the video. And who's live right now? Let me just check who's live for a second. Who is live? It doesn't seem like anyone's live. This is it's a Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. and nobody's live. Dark. So I guess you guys are oh wait. No, that's not live right now. That's not live. That's not, oh my god. Yeah. You guys, I guess I'm going to be leaving you there. Take it easy, people. Wait, TFT raid. What did Terry just raid up? Did Terry just raid up? Or should I raid Terry? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, is Terry live? I can't see Terry live right now. Is Terry live? Just gone 6 p.m. I big up to you, Shaw, man. It's kind of it's 11 a.m. over here right now. It's an early morning. Okay, yeah. I see Terry's just going live in a second. All right, yeah. I got you, Dark Roll. Big up to you, my bro. I'm gonna raid Terry now and Goldbridge, just go slap a Durag Diaries raid in his chat. Let him know. Big up to Beijing Gorna in the morning. Good morning to you as well, my bro. Smash the likes on your way out. And yeah, man, go show some love to Terry and Mark Goldbridge as they go live and talk about the potential re-signing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Peace out, people.